Welcome, guys. So glad you could join us today as we dive into the world of the Rapid City Marshals. Hosted by myself, C. Green, Marshals Law on Shady Sports Network brings you exclusive interviews, game analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories of these remarkable athletes and coaches. Get ready to witness the power, passion, and determination of the Rapid City Marshals as they rewrite the rulebook and enforce their own brand of justice on the field. This is Marshals Law on Shady Sports Network. Let's bring the law to the game. This show is sponsored by WeatherTight. Stay protected, rain or shine. Thanks for following us on the show, Marshals Law. You can follow the Rapid City Marshals at marshalsfootball.com. That's www.marshalsfootball.com. MARSHALS1L, marshalsfootball.com. And if you want to unlock the ultimate sports experience, head on over to shadysportsnetwork.com, your gateway to endless excitement and exclusive content. Follow, like, and subscribe for updates. All right, guys. So on today's show, we'll be joined by defensive coordinator of the Rapid City Marshals, Coach Edwards, Coach Montrey Edwards. Coach Edwards is a Jackson native. He was an associate head coach and defensive line coach at Holmes Community College. This guy's coached everywhere over Jackson. He's a Jackson legend, basically. He was at Holmes County Central, Murray High School, Junior High, Canton High. Also, I see here it says you're a co-founder of Jackson Giants Sports Club.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you want to touch on that, but that sounds kind of interesting. I'd like to talk about it. Go ahead.
The Jackson Giants Sports Club. That's my baby.
Okay.
That was something that I incorporated here in Jackson, Mississippi for inner city youth. Because I don't know if you know, Jackson, Mississippi is a high crime ridden area. Issues with water issues. So I started this organization in about 2003. It's a youth football organization, cheerleading. We taught sex can wait programs for teens, esteem program for young ladies. It consisted of both male and females, but our target area was football and cheerleading, what I was familiar with. So many kids have come up out of my program, have went on to play SEC football. As a matter of fact, what we have in Mississippi is called the Mississippi Dandy Does. That's like the top 12 football players in the state of Mississippi. In the last 3 years, I've had two of my kids that have played that specifically come from the Jackson Giants Sports Club from when they were 5 years old to excel, and both ended up signing Power 5 scholarship. One was my son, Montrey Edwards Jr. He was a dandy dozen. I coached him at Holmes County Central. The other one was Kamari Rogers, another kid that I coached from age 5 that went all the way up through my program. I also coached him at Holmes County Central. Kamari is currently playing at Mississippi State University. He signed with Miami. was a dandy dozen. My son Montrey was a dandy dozen. He signed with the University of Missouri out of high school. He's currently playing at FAMU. So it's the youth organization. I could go on and on and on and name countless amount of kids that have come through that organization. We took them on trips. They played in tournaments all over the United States, the South. It's like I said, that was my baby, and it still is. I've converted it now to Jackson Giants Sports Club. So now it's just mostly training. It's my sports performance training. I kind of got away once my son went to high school. I ended up coaching him, so I got away from the Jackson Giants Sports Club. But since the smoke is settled, I'm back doing it now, and it's called Jackson Giants. Edwards Sports Performance. So we've yeah.
And how can just real quick, how can people get a hold of you for that? Maybe.
Oh, it's you guys. Everything is still under my same email. Edwards Montrey at Yahoo. My same phone number, 601-953-9324. I had the same phone number for 25 years, so it's not real hard to get a hold of us. Not real hard to get a hold.
Definitely, man. That's cool. I always like to try to ask the people I'm talking to, what they're doing to give back to the city. So, I mean, that jumped out to me, really quick. That's amazing because, it's awesome to be able, to be on the professional level, but at the same time, it starts with the youth, with the kids.
With the kids, correct.
Mm-hmm. So I see you the defensive coordinator. It looks like you came up playing a little bit of defensive line, also offensive line, right?
Yes, sir. I was a stellar defensive lineman in high school. I went to a junior college called Hines Community College, where I played with guys who played probably about 25 years in the NFL on the defensive line. Mm-hmm. My coaches came and they said, well, we want to put our best 22 guys on the field at one time. So I made a transition to play offense once I got to junior college. I don't know if you're familiar with guys like Grady Jackson. He played maybe 13, 14, 15 years. He was drafted by the Raiders. Mark Smith, who was one of my best friends, drafted to the Cardinals. Michael Myers went to the University of Alabama, played with the Cowboys. So those guys were defensive linemen, and playing time was a little push come to shove. So I ended up translating it to playing offensive line, where I was a junior college All-American, and I also was a Black college All-American at Jackson State University.
Okay. Speaking of Jackson State, man, I mean, they've been getting a lot of love lately. It's cool to see. It's cool
Absolutely.
to see the spotlight being shined. So I mean, man, you got a host of experience. You got a lot of experience and some great connections, which I think is going to be super helpful for the Marshals. Transferring over to the Marshals, I mean, with all that history, with all that knowledge, what's your coaching philosophy, and then how does that reflect into your approach to training and developing?
Basics, master the basics. That's pretty much. Football is block, run, tackle, fundamentals at every level. When all else fails, rely back to your fundamentals. Attitude is everything. Attitude translates. If I'm teaching kids, it's all about your attitude. Your attitude translates from the field to the classroom to home with mom when she says, hey, take the garbage out. So it's all about attitude. Attitude and gratitude are my two biggest pet peeves, and we're going to be fundamentally sound. We're going to master the basics. That's what kind of coach I am. Let's master the small stuff. It's kind of like you can cut the grass, the grass outside, but if you don't edge it and weed it, it defeats the whole purpose. So I'm real big on the small things that makes the big.
That's you're right there. That's funny. That's pretty much the same thing Coach X said last week. So it's cool to see that continue across the board.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, you said the little things. I know in arena you guys are playing both sides of the field,
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
with you being on the defensive side, how do you make in-game adjustments? How are you going to go about that and handle kind of some situations that may arise with
Well, my thing with that, Mr. Green, is prior preparation prevents poor performance. So we're going to win over every aspect of a game during practice. So when the game comes, the games will be simplified and they'll be easy. So we'll put them in every extreme situation that there's possibly could be. 2 minutes of this half, 2 minutes at the beginning of that half. As well as the AFL has a substitution rule that a lot of people not very familiar with. But like I said, I've coached on this level for several years and excelled on it for several years. So I think that gives us pretty much a cheat code with what we have going. As far as my experience, Coach King's experience, my experience of working with Coach King and for Coach King before we were together in Quad City. We had one of the top 5 offenses in the league. We were top 5, and everywhere I've been, we've been as an O-line, D-line coach. We've been top 5, not allowing sacks, top 5 sacking the quarterback. So I think those are the 2 key components when you start talking about arena football: is can I protect my quarterback? Can I get after their quarterback? And I think we'll be definitely ready in both aspects of the game as far as that.
Okay. Speaking of that, because I know a couple teams switched around. What would you say the biggest challenge in switching from indoor to arena football is?
I would say the substitution pattern. I
Yeah.
think the substitution pattern is going to be and then the style of play, the jack rule, the mic and the jack rules with the mic and the jack, the motions. In some leagues they allow 2 motions to 1 motion. I think that'll be but the biggest transition is Iron Man. Fixing your roster to where you are equipped to go in a game and have everything you need in every situation covered.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Iron Man football, man. It's one thing, to just go and maybe, basketball, you play both sides. It's a different story. When you're out there as physical as you guys are,
right.
Mike and Jack rule designates where and how the linebackers can move.
Right.
Yeah, X-Men touched on that last week. So how does that work?
The mic has a grace where he can be, I think it's 5.5, 3.5 yards. He can be so much. The jack can go lateral so many yards to the wall where if not, it's called illegal defense. And the thing with illegal defense, if you get an illegal defense, it's an automatic first down. So it's almost like a holding in regular football. It's almost a drive killer or a drive keeper. So
that's more of a mental thing, would you say?
It's more of a discipline thing of doing the right thing, playing by the rules, knowing the rules, and applying the rules, following the rules.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how do you foster a positive team culture and encourage camaraderie amongst the players?
That all starts at the top. And I think the Marshals have done an awesome job of identifying and neglecting an awesome leader. And coach sets the culture, togetherness, cohesiveness, and the main thing is begin with the end in mind, and everybody working toward one goal. Everybody's philosophy is the same. Everybody's goals are the same. Everybody takes the same route about reaching the goals that they're trying to obtain. So I think that's what cultivates culture.
Yep. That is definitely true, man. I was gonna ask you, so what are your goals and aspirations for the season, going into the season with the Marshals?
Oh, we're definitely looking at winning season without a doubt. Winning season, we're going to compete in the playoffs, and I like our chances with our coaching staff, the team coaches assembled. I really like our chances as far as taking a. We definitely won't be the Marshals of the past. No knock to whatever they've had going on, but we will definitely be a contender. We will definitely be a contender.
I've been feeling the energy, man.
Yeah,
are there any teams or any teams in the league that you guys are like, all right, we're waiting for this?
I was on Billings' first championship team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to playing Billings. Of course, like I say, it's always a friendly rival. I met some great people in Billings. Still friends with a lot of people there. So, but other than that, we just, we have a mission and a goal in mind, and whoever shows up at our place or their place, we going in and we're going to put our best foot forward. We're going to be prepared. Our guys are going to be in shape, well conditioned. We'll be a really good team, I think. We'll be a really
Yeah.
prepared team.
There you go. Hey, that's the best way to be. You know what I mean? Success is when preparedness when preparedness meets opportunity. That's success, they say.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of being prepared, can you talk just a little bit? I guess you've been really hammering on it, but can you talk a little bit more about the importance of player development and how you work with your coaching staff to help players reach their full potentials?
Well, the first thing with player development, I mean, it goes back to Little League. You have to be realistic as far as what are your goals and what are you trying to accomplish. But player development is we'll get the most out of our players. When you start talking about getting the most out of your players, it goes back to preparation. Do I know the game? Am I familiar with the techniques that have been taught? And once all that comes together, now I can put it together and I can fly around and I can play full speed. I understand. It's almost like being a student. I understand this math question. I understand how to get it solved. Now I can go at it full steam ahead. And usually when people are prepared to do anything, when anytime you're prepared to do anything, then it becomes fun to you. When you're learning, it becomes fun. You get more hunger for more knowledge of it. So I think that's what we're going to present to the guys, and I think that'll be intricate in our player development with them is that they'll come in and they'll see, hey, coach told me to stick my route. Okay, I stuck my route. I'm wide open. Coach told me to get off the ball, shoot my hand on my stab, snatch, and it worked. So when guys start you start to coaching guys and teaching guys, and they're starting to learn, and then they're starting to see what you're teaching them comes to pass, then that's when you start really getting into player development. It becomes fun for everybody.
Yeah. So I see, man, you coached at, quite a few teams on the professional level.
Yes,
Was
sir.
there like and I mean in the high school and minor level too, but was there like a certain coach that really turned you on to coaching and you're like, okay, that's the reason I want to get into coaching? Or what was the reason?
Uh, kind of goes back to I had a middle school, junior high coach named Coach Thomas Billups, and when I played for him, I absolutely hated him. I absolutely hated him. I mean, but the more as I got into being a coach and I see his passion for just kids, this passion for people and carrying on knowledge to them to help them exceed in life. And, the more I got into it, I said, I want to be like coach. I want to make, I want to come and I want to make difference in people's lives. And, he was a tough coach, and a lot of times with anything that's worth having is worth working for. Anything that's easy, that's just handed to you, probably not going to last very long, and it's probably not going to be good for you. But I would say my coach, Coach Billups, Coach Thomas Billups, he's like a high school legend, basketball legend here at the school called Lanier High School. Big time basketball school. A lot of greats like Montrey Edwards. He was like one of the last guys to go straight from high school to the NBA. He played for Coach Billups. So Coach Billups has definitely been a pioneer and was definitely one of my idols that got me into coaching.
Nice. Well, let me ask you, got any advice for any aspiring coaches who are looking to maybe make a career in professional arena football, or I guess coaching in general?
Be a lifelong learner. Be a lifelong learner. Learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can while you can. Just be a lifelong learner. And the next thing I would say is be a lifelong learner. Be passionate about what you're doing. Be passionate about what you're doing, and just be a lifelong learner. And the main thing that's overlooked in this coaching profession is loyalty. Be loyal. If because loyalty is everything in this business nowadays. You can always get somebody in and kind of teach them the ropes, but loyalty is very, very important. I would tell you, be loyal to be where your feet are. If that's where you are at this level, be there, be 100, be all in. In order to be a good head coach, you have to be a good assistant at some point. So if you aspire to be a head coach, you have to be the assistant coach that you would want to be. You would want as a head coach. So I would say those main two things. But loyalty is very, very important.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shoot, man, it's been a good talk. Is there anything else you want to maybe touch on?
No, that's about it. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the season, looking forward to getting those big guys up and running because we all know football, it doesn't change. It's all about your bigs, my O line and my D line, and I think I'm one of the better. I have the experience, and I'm just excited about getting back to work. I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm excited about the AFL reemerging. I'm excited about the owners. I think they have the right mindset. I think we all on the same page as far as what we want to get out of this thing, and I'm just ready to go. I'm just looking forward to it, and I'm ready to go. Super excited.
There you go. Just to remind you guys, we are on right now. My name's Cedric Green, C. Green. This is Marshals Law. I'm on with Coach Edwards, Coach Montrey Edwards, defensive coordinator of the Rapid City Marshals. You can follow us at Shady Sports Network. You can follow the Marshals check out marshalsfootball.com. You can go and purchase your tickets. If you use the code Shady10, you'll get 10% off. So go ahead and get that code, get that discount, and go check these guys out because it's a new season. Like Coach Edwards said, they're sticking to the little things. They're getting back to the basics, and they're ready to bring fundamentals, man. It's going to be exciting to watch them this season. So, Coach, before I let you go, man, let me just ask you real quick, what do you prefer, offense or defense?
Defense. Defense wins championships. Defense and special teams. Offense gets the people in the stands, but defense, we're going to be ferocious. We're going to be agile. We're going to be hostile. We're going to be mobile. And our trademark is takeaways and turnovers. That's what we're going to do. We want the ball. We're going to play defense like it's offense. We want the ball. We want to score. And we want to combat you on everything you're doing. And we want to take your will to compete. And that's what we're going to be about.
Hey, I'm ready for it. That sounds scary for the other teams, man, if your defense is coming out like an offense. So let's get it. I'm ready for it, man. Well, thanks for coming on, Coach Edwards. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure, Steve. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And if you want, before you go, man, let everybody know where they can follow you again, where they can find you and check out.
You can check me out on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Montrey Edwards Sr. on Twitter.
Okay. There we go, man. Well, before I let y'all go, we got something new that we're trying. So we have a trivia question. It's our weather tight trivia question of the week. What year were the Rapid City Marshals founded? So if you're a Marshals fan, you die hard, you know what year they were actually founded. So think about it, get your question in the comments, come back next week and find out if you're right.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.